Introduction. In this video we sling from Wonderboom to Marloth Park, a 1,500 hectare wildlife sanctuary situated on the southern border of the Kruger National Park. We stay in self-catering accommodation for 3 days and then sling back to Wonderboom. We share in-cockpit audio, some general aviation tidbits and some of our mistakes. Planning. Our sister Lucia and her husband Chris booked their annual breakaway at Marloth Park and invited us to join them for a couple of days. We had 2 options for a landing strip close to it, namely a private farm airstrip right next to Marloth Park or the more public Malalaan airfield a little further away. The farm owner, Charlie van Feyeren, was very helpful and allowed us to land on the farm, so we opted for this closer option since Lucia and Chris could come and fetch us. There are 2 car rental companies available at the Malalaan airfield if one would want to do it slightly differently. There are also a number of shuttle and game driving services available from Marloth Park, as yet another option for using any one of the 2 airfields for a weekend flyaway. The routing was a bit tricky with the Kruger National Airport, with its multi-level TMA sections and special rules area underneath, directly in our direct flight path. If we wanted to follow the most direct path, we would have had to follow the very strict VFR routing through the CTR. Since we were not sure about the detailed topology in the area, we opted to rather add 3 minutes to our route and rather route around Barberton, where we were clear from this intense traffic and special routing rules and could stay much higher if we wanted to. The weather forecasts indicated some low clouds and mist on the edge of the escarpment early the morning of our flight, with some low clouds remaining on the eastern side, which then would have lifted completely later on. Windy.com recently added a very handy feature to indicate the weather along the whole route. I also requested this feature and it already proved very successful and useful for this flight. Part of the flying planning process is to check the NOTAMs for the flight path. This time I only found out afterwards that I missed quite an important one for Kruger International Airport. More on this mistake later. Getting there. On the morning of our departure, Pretoria was completely clear, but Marloth had some low clouds, all exactly as forecasted. We opted to take a relaxing pace to allow the low clouds to lift completely out our destination. We took off just before 9 o'clock on runway 29er and were routed through the circuit outbound at the east of Roodeplaat Dam. We had quite a close call just after takeoff with another plane not following his instructions.
And if you have the traffic in sight, overtake the traffic with the traffic in sight, or otherwise you need an orbit to avoid the traffic. It's okay, below him is on top of me. I'm heading towards the petrol port. Sorry about that, I missed that.
It was very quiet until we were in the air, and then the airways become extremely busy, with up to 6 planes at one stage queuing to land. We had a very stable flight and could climb to flight level 075 for Johannesburg Information North. Here it was also quite busy. And then only 3 minutes later,
Whiskey Mike, we're on a flight from Wonderboom to Barberton. 2 on board, aircraft type Sling, 6 hours endurance. We just outbound from the Victoria General Flying Area number 2, already maintaining flight level 075 and requesting 075. Whiskey Mike.
Whiskey Mike, scope 5550, no report traffic for reclam, flight level 075, report maintaining.
Squawk 5550, already maintaining 075. Whiskey Mike.
Whiskey Mike, reported being Belfast.
Beam Belfast, next, Whiskey Mike.
Kruger's special rules area was very quiet, with no parachuting activity at Barberton. Enter the NOTAM mistake. Kruger International Airport added another TMA Sector G a week before this flight. This lowered the TMA from flight level 085 to 7,500 feet in the part where we flew through. I entered at flight level 075, which was 8,000 feet on the day, 500 feet into the new TMA. Flight info did not correct me. Maybe they also missed a note there.
I'm not going to descend, I'm just going to stay on the same altitude. Whiskey Mike Mike.
Whiskey Mike Mike, broadcast to 130.35.
130.35, Whiskey Mike Mike.
This is a very scenic flight with all the mountains off the escarpment. We rather stayed higher over the mountains. In the end, we had to descend quite fast to get in underneath the remaining low clouds, which have not lifted yet by that time, as expected from the forecast. We were still too high when reaching Marloth Park and had to circle twice for runway 22. We have flown with vultures many times before in the Magaliesberg area, but we had quite a close call with an eagle while circling. We had quite a nice perspective of Marloth Park and the Kruger National Park in the background. Review of the runway. The runway is only 600 meters long by 20 meters wide with a very smooth grass surface. It is at 1035 feet altitude. There is a little hilltop with antenna towers to its south, and in conjunction with the slope of the runway, only runway 22 can thus be used for landing, with little chance for a go around. Only runway 04 can be used for takeoff. There is a nice parking area at the 04 threshold next to the owner's hangar. Our own pegs and ropes were used for tying down. The windsock is right next to the runway to its west, almost in the center of the runway. Chris and Lucia came to fetch us at the runway and also helped with some nice video footage, for which we thank them. Marloth is the 49th airfield we have Sling to. Being there. Marloth Park's western gate is quite close to the Grey Van farm on a dirt road. Chris and Lucia stayed in the Battleier's Nest self-catering lodge, and we went there directly to settle in. Marloth has its own wildlife and boasts 4 of the big 5. We had some exciting and unique animal views and encounters at the lodge itself and with the walks and drives we went on. We had delicious wood-fired braais in the evenings, and Chris excelled with a rum steak the first evening and a variety of susatis the second evening. The third evening we went for supper to the Ngwenya Lodge, also on the Crocodile River to the east of Marloth Park. We had been here before with our friends Johan and Audrey and really enjoyed all the facilities and the views over the Crocodile River into the Kruger National Park. That time we also drove into the Kruger via the Crocodile Bridge Gate, a mere 10 kilometers away. This time we missed the sunset, but the excellent meal in the La Fera restaurant more than made up for it. We can highly recommend a stay at Ngwenya Lodge. Marloth Park hosts 2 small shopping centers with everything from fuel, home industries, supermarket, liquor store, restaurants, swimming pools, hardware and many more. All the properties in Marloth are privately owned, but many owners rent their properties out, and it therefore has a lot of different types and sizes of accommodation available. We were pleasantly surprised with the accommodation, the facilities, and the amount of different tame animals. It is really not even necessary to go to the Kruger National Park, except if you want to experience a different type of context. We can highly recommend staying at Marloth Park as well. Getting back. On a Sunday morning we were again presented with perfect flying weather, as forecasted. Due to the relatively short runway, we did not want to leave too late, as the temperatures would rise well into the 30s degrees Celsius later the day. After a scrumptious light breakfast, Chris and Lucia took us back to the airfield. We took off just after 11 o'clock and head directly to Barberton town.
Marloth Park traffic, grey van, Sling Whiskey Mike Mike, lined up on threshold 04, ready to take off. So we'll be climbing out to 4,000 feet and left-hand turn out, moving towards Barberton and then Victoria Whiskey Mike. Hello, level traffic, the Marloth Park is here, Sling Whiskey Mike Mike, just airborne out of Marloth, grey van, climbing to 2,500 feet, moving to Barberton. Traffic Kruger Special Rules Sling Whiskey Mike Mike in the Malalan area, passing now at 4,300 feet, parallel to the Malalan airfield, mid-center, Whiskey Mike Mike. Traffic Kruger Special Rules Sling Whiskey Mike Mike over at Barberton town at 6,500 feet, routing to Pretoria, Wonderboom. We'll be climbing soon to 8,500 feet, Whiskey Mike Mike.
After leaving the Kruger Special Rules area, we could climb to flight level 085, registering with Johannesburg Information North.
Joburg Info North, Zulu uniform, Whiskey Mike Mike, good afternoon.
Whiskey Mike Mike, traffic information, standby please, number 2.
This information sector was extremely busy, and the number of aircraft were heading in our same direction and altitude, with a number of cautioning calls when we got too close to each other.
Same direction. Call sign Papa Bravo. There's a Sling 2 approaching from your left, airborne Barberton, routing Wonderboom. Everybody's maintaining 585, keep it a guard.
Wonderboom Tower, Zulu uniform, Whiskey
We
Mike
contacted
Mike,
Wonderboom over at Cullinan and were routed in directly on a standard long final for runway 29er.
Zulu uniform, Whiskey Mike Mike, Wonderboom. Wonderboom, Whiskey Mike Mike.
Wonderboom airspace was also quite busy, with a number of the aircraft flying around us just before, also routing into Wonderboom.
Joining and landing instructions, aircraft type Sling, 2 on board, 3 hours to do them. Whiskey Mike Mike.
Mike Mike, clearing about 6,500 feet, QNH 1026, report south of Victor, report possible on approach runway 29.
Cleared inbound 6,500 feet, QNH 1027, for possible long final for 29. Whiskey Mike Mike.
Thank you, Father God, for the privilege of such an enjoyable and amazing experience. May the sharing inspire, entertain and educate other like-minded travelers to experience the same.